He didn't shout. He didn't celebrate wildly. He didn't chase the cameras or beg for the spotlight. He simply destroyed defenses, scored impossible goals, and walked away like it was the most normal thing in the world. This is the story of a king who ruled with a quiet, lethal grace. This is the story of Thierry Henry. Before he was a Premier League icon, Thierry Henry was a failure. That's a hard word, but it's true. At Juventus, he looked completely lost. Shunted out to the wing, stripped of his confidence, he struggled to make any impact. The Italian press wrote him off. Many in football whispered, maybe he's just not that guy. Fast, but not a game changer. It felt like another story of unfulfilled potential, a career destined for mediocrity. But one man, a visionary manager in North London, saw something everyone else had missed. Arsene Wenger didn't just sign Henry for Arsenal. He saw the blueprint for a footballing revolution hiding in plain sight. He didn't want a winger. He wanted a weapon. He looked at Henry and said, "You are a striker." And with that simple shift, the entire landscape of modern football was about to change forever. Arriving at Arsenal, Thierry Henry didn't just start scoring goals. He began to conduct symphonies of destruction. There was a unique artistry to his devastation. Defenders knew exactly what was coming, and that made it even more humiliating. That signature move, the casual drift in from the left, the slight drop of the shoulder, the way he would open his body up, and then that effortless, side-footed finish curled into the far corner. Goalkeepers would already be moving. They knew the destination, but the precision was so perfect, the timing so exquisite. They were always a fraction of a second too late. It was like he was playing in a different dimension, where the game slowed down just for him. While other players battled and scrapped, Henry glided across the pitch. He moved like a phantom, a blur of red and white who was somehow both everywhere and nowhere at once. He didn't run past defenders. He floated through them, leaving a trail of twisted ankles and bruised egos in his wake. His genius wasn't just in his speed, it was in his brain. He saw the game 3 steps ahead of everyone else, turning football into his personal playground. The 2003-04 season, the Invincibles. Going an entire Premier League campaign unbeaten is a feat so monumental it almost sounds like a myth. But it wasn't just about talent, and it certainly wasn't luck. It was about a collective belief, an unbreakable mentality that was forged every single day on the training ground. And the man setting that standard, the heartbeat of that legendary team, was Thierry Henry. He wasn't the captain who screamed and shouted. He didn't need to. His presence was enough. If you trained alongside him, you had no excuses. You saw his dedication, his relentless pursuit of perfection, and you either matched it or you were left behind. He was demanding, not with his voice, but with his actions. He demanded the ball in the right space at the right time. He demanded that his teammates see the game with the same clarity that he did. His leadership was quiet, but it was absolute. That season wasn't just a record, it was the ultimate expression of Henry's philosophy. Dominance achieved through intelligence, not just brute force. 4 years, Henry faced a strange kind of criticism. Commentators and pundits would often focus on his body language. They said he looked disinterested, arrogant, or even bored. They saw his calm demeanor after a goal and mistook it for a lack of passion. But they were missing the point entirely. The truth is, Thierry Henry cared, perhaps more deeply than anyone else on the pitch. He just expressed it differently. His passion wasn't in wild celebrations. It was in the perfection of his craft. It was in the intelligent runs that pulled defenses apart, the impeccably timed assists that created chances from nothing, and the clinical precision of his finishing. For Henry, football wasn't chaos. It was a grandmaster's game of chess. Every movement had a purpose. Every touch was a calculated step towards check. His mind was his greatest weapon. While others were playing checkers, flinging pieces around with frantic energy, Henry was patiently, calmly, and inevitably leading his opponent into a trap they never even saw coming. Let's look at the resume. World Cup winner, European champion, multiple league titles in England and Spain, Champions League winner, a record number of golden boots. The man won everything there is to win in the sport. He's one of the most decorated players of all time. Yet, for so much of his career, and even today, there's a sense that he was somehow overlooked in the conversation for the absolute greatest. Why? Because greatness doesn't always have to scream to be heard. It doesn't need to beat its chest or demand validation. Sometimes, true, undeniable greatness whispers. It's in the subtle shift of weight, the perfectly executed first touch, the goal that looks so simple, you almost miss the genius behind it. Henry's brilliance was so consistent, so effortless in its appearance, that people began to take it for granted. They forgot the years of rejection, the reinvention, and the sheer mental fortitude it took to play at that level, with that much pressure, and make it all look like a walk in the park. His legacy is a quiet testament to the idea that the most powerful forces are often the ones you do not see coming. In today's game, the athletic attributes are pushed to the forefront. Speed is everywhere. Power is celebrated. But true elegance, that cool, sophisticated artistry, that's becoming a rare commodity. Thierry Henry serves as a powerful reminder of what football can be at its most beautiful. He showed an entire generation that dominance doesn't require aggression. He proved that supreme confidence doesn't need to be loud or arrogant. He taught us that true kings don't need to go around telling everyone they're the king. They don't beg for their crowns. They simply play their game. And by the end, the crown is already on their head, placed there by the sheer weight of their undeniable talent. He was the embodiment of cool, a player who blended breathtaking athleticism with the mind of a genius. Some players arrive in a match and try to force the game to bend to their will. They impose themselves with force and frantic energy. They demand this spotlight. But Thierry Henry was different. He had a deeper understanding. He let the game come to him. He watched. He waited. He calculated. And then, in a single, fluid moment of pure genius, he would simply end it. He wasn't just a part of the game. For a time, he was the game itself. Thank you for watching.